What's up, beautiful people? It's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video, and it's titled "Woke Liberals Try to Frame Math as Being Racist Now." Interesting. I'm excited to check this out. To hear what they've got to say. Let's check it out.
You're living in a parody right now. You know why I say that? The clips you're about to watch will leave you actually questioning your own sanity as we see the start of a new online movement against the subject of mathematics as inherently racist. And honestly, it's an all-out assault on basic logic that even left me confused on how to counter it. Just take a look for yourself and tell me if this charge against racist math makes any sense at all.
Tell me why math is racist, doctor.
So the critical race theory is a framework for understanding the world that helps us understand that this entire country is racist, right? We have a white supremacist racial caste system in the United States.
Wait. Can you just stop for one second?
Right?
Are you saying that all white people in America are racist?
Yeah, I am too. Sometimes it happens. We were socialized, right? The process of socialization and learning about social norms.
So you're
that
racist.
Happened.
You're a racist.
Occasionally.
Now, it sounds like the most outlandish and absurd idea there is, but in the interest of the conversation, let's take a fair look at the argument. The idea that math is racist is actually being tied to something else, which is critical race theory. Among other things around race relations, this theory levels a pretty hefty charge at modern America that all of its systems, standardizations, and ideals are foundationally racist. And there's not even a way to redeem them because ideas like objective fact, which lie at the root of what mathematics even is, are actually a product of white supremacy. Standardized tests like SATs or even the IQ tests are supposedly just a mathematical way to reinforce racial differences and are simply another tool to cement racist control.
I would argue no, the problem isn't with these test takers, the problem is with the tests themselves. These are tests that were created by eugenicists.
Ibram X. Kendi is just one voice among many, but one of the loudest ones. Still, apart from the lengthy political discussions around race that we can have for the rest of time, how is mathematics itself racist? How does a subject that's often called the language of the universe become so subjective and localized?
Why would they change math? Math is math.
When George Orwell predicted a dystopian world where 1 + 2 will be 5, he probably didn't predict which side of the political spectrum it would be coming from. In this particular segment with Jesse Waters, you quickly saw the math is racist idea is nestled in the accusations coming from critical race theory itself.
Explain how math is racist. I still haven't really understood the premise from you.
Well, the first premise, the first starting point that we have to get on the same page on is that we live in a white supremacist racial caste system.
Okay, I'm not willing to agree with that. No, I disagree with that. But just explain, because we're running out of time, doctor.
Humans have then used math and numbers and statistics in all sorts of ways, from counting black and brown bodies as they made them property and brought them over to these lands, to much more recently, scholars who said that white people were more intelligent than people of color. That's called scientific racism, the use of statistics and tools to construct the idea. It's like something deep in our brains. It's hard to recognize, and that's why it requires time, Jesse.
Do you sense that almost
It's indeed, it's hard to process in her own brain. I love her honesty that she is racist sometimes, because she say all white people are racists. Oh, Jesus Christ. Then add maths to be racist. Wahala. I don't even understand how we got here. How is maths racist? In fact, everything that she's just spoken here just goes to tell you that she doesn't even understand what she's saying. And it honestly don't make sense. And this just it should stop. Please. It's tiring. Let's continue.
Sense that almost condescending tone in her voice, as if the charge against math is too intellectually sophisticated for most people to understand. The thing about math or science, as she mentions, is that they're tools, not agents. And not just any tools, but the most reliable and objective ones that we have at understanding ourselves and the whole universe. The idea that you can bring a charge sheet against them because they've been used to perform or justify bad things in history says less about the tools and more about the humans using them. Richard Dawkins once made this point about science directing public anger for historical crimes, not to science or math, but to the people that wielded them.
If you want to do terrible things with technology, with terrible weapons, for example, science is the best way to do it, because science is the best way to do anything. And
even bad things.
Even bad things. I mean, that's right. If you want to develop a terrible weapon, you're not going to do it in any other way than by science. The trick is not to want to develop a terrible weapon.
In modern America, people that assert basic facts quickly find themselves on the back foot because a vast majority have simply lost track of the truth.
This is true. That's why they come up with different things using science. You see, they start with attacking little kids, bringing up different things, say gender this, giving them pills, science. Like he said, weapons, science, like so many things. So they use science to destroy the world, which honestly, you would start to wonder like what exactly is their end game. And yeah, we get this other one or this other lady say math is racist, all white people are racists. Wow. So everything that happened in the history will now reflect back and say everything is racist. It's convenient that lots of people go back or check back in history and don't want to attach anything positive or pick any of the positive things that happened in history. They always want to attach the negative or the bad thing to make it look like, oh, the world was built on one so terrible thing, that people who lived in those times were terrible. So like, I mean, people moved, everything is a stage, and people have moved past a certain stage that sometimes you have to pick the good out of the bad and not always reflect on the bad. But it seems like lots of people just love to dwell on the past and love to dwell in the negatives. It just don't make sense. But yeah, let's go on.
Now, for people asserting that math is racist, it seems like they're not even caring to introduce any caveat or deeper understanding to the idea. That's what we saw not too long ago on Fox News when author Karolyn Borysenko, who spent over 20 years as someone on the far left, pulled the lid on what this idea is really about.
Quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
The assault on math is really just the extreme end of the larger assault on basic logic we're seeing right now, whether it be science as it regards the gender debates or mathematics as it regards standardized testing. It's an attack on all things objective, as every idea and truth devolves into a soup of subjectivity where nothing really means anything. Forget politics or even science, because there's literally no other field of study that is as objective as mathematics. There truly is just one right answer, and it withstands every test of logic and reason, everywhere and for all time. The charge against math may even be dangerous, because if there's going to be entire subjects under attack from a strand of the political spectrum, that means they're just to become another casualty in our political wars. But what's different this time is that math, science, and recognition of objective truth are the foundational stones of America's technological superiority. Attacking that means striking an axe on what makes this country powerful in the first place, and destroying an avenue where so many minds find creative refuge in understanding and discovering objective truth in the world. The reason I said in the beginning that you're living in a parody is that an idea like this could only be part of a skit that takes things to a logical extreme for comedic effect. That's what we saw with this viral comedy skit around a decade ago, and it seems to only be getting frighteningly real every passing year.
Now, our first question, 1 + 1. Yes.
2.
Incorrect. Yes.
Multiculturalism.
Well done, Simon. Next question, what is 3 × 3? Yes.
9.
Wrong. Yes. Yes, Penelope.
Gender equality.
Very good, Penelope.
Is this a joke?
You think gender equality is a joke?
No, but isn't this a maths class?
Don't be so racist.
I just asked a question.
We don't ask questions. Questions are offensive.
Yeah!
Now that's a scary reminder of the kind of world we live in, and all the more reason for you to hold your intellectual ground in the face of it. Sure, it's good material for political satire or to mock the other side, but understanding how satire of yesterday can become the reality of tomorrow means you have to be willing to intellectually engage and refute them. That's the only way to make sure bad ideas don't take a hold of an entire nation's psyche, as we've seen with so many other political and social ideas in the last few years.
Interesting. This just gets all the more interesting. In fact, the fact that we live in the times where right is seen as wrong, wrong is seen as right is crazy. And also the part of the science, science can be used to destroy the world, or can be used as a destruction or destructive mechanism for the world or in the world, but can also be used to help the world as well, and also improve the society. So it also depends on other people's intent, what they use it and what they use it for. But saying maths is racist is crazy. Yo, this just gets all the more interesting. I can't even believe that we live in times where these things just these things are happening. But I'm sure lots of people, as time goes on, somewhere down the road, they will look far back and be like, wait, what exactly did happen? What exactly were we doing? But this gets all the more interesting. Let me know what you think about this. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share, and I really love your honest contribution. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.